I honorably suggest that it shows that this election was controlled from everywhere except IEBC. And I have read the affidavit of Mr. Chebukati. He suggests that the Venezuelans felt harassed after their arrest and left the country, but I respectfully submit that they remained fully connected to the IEBC servers. I have said page 3, paragraph 8 shows the unauthorized users accessing the system, a total of 6 of them being, I found the page, is C. Silva, Josio, Vito, JCA, Murgor, Ogudino, and J. Lugo. I conclude by saying, what is the response of all these very serious allegations? I say that we get it from the affidavits of the 4 commissioners who have differed with the chairman. They have stated categorically that that whole system was created by was controlled by one person, the third respondent. They were kept in the dark. Mr. Nyangaya, who was in charge of ICT, was also shocked that foreigners were controlling the system and had access during and after the election. And I point out that Mr. Chebukati did not offer this to the court in his replying affidavit, and it only was offered through his subordinates when the evidence was availed. I conclude by submitting that what we have before the court is clearly a corrupted, and I'm not talking about a person, I'm talking about the verb, a corrupted and compromised RTS system which does not meet the demands of the Constitution and the Act. And it is only a matter, it is a matter that will be determined after scrutiny whether something can be retrieved from the system, which includes, and we focus on the results that were first uploaded onto the KIMS kits. Perhaps that's where we will find some truth. But whatever got to Bomas of Kenya was totally corrupted, I submit, by corrupt IEBC officials. I lastly point out that you will find in the affidavit of Mr. Benson Wasonga, Smartmatic, by some strange coincidence, is reportedly mired in several controversies in the management of elections technology around the world, including Venezuela and the Philippines. So perhaps that makes them unqualified to most of us, but makes them eminently qualified for the fraudulent objectives of the first and second respondents. Thank you. So, the process ought to have been, ideally, 46,232 Form 34As ought to have been generated into 291 34Bs, and in turn have generated one, I repeat, one 34C. However, you will find, your ladyships and my lords, that an analysis of the logs show several regeneration of 34Cs, which in turn lead to what I have just described. But at all times, you see a downloading of 34As in the CSV format, which is the editable format. Page 20, 21 and 22 show that as of 21st of August 2022, the hours are 15:48:33 seconds. A Form 34C had already been generated. I repeat that. As of 12th August 2022, 15:48 and 43 seconds, a Form 34C had already been generated. The results were hardly in, according to IEBC. What was the business of anyone within that system generating a 34C? We were 2 days away from the final announcement.